You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's easy to sum it up. We're talking about practice.
Because it's about as casual as it gets. What's the problem now?
That's a clown question, bro.
I think we ought to turn the beat in at least.
World champions!
Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
Philadelphia, looking as only you can look. Woo!
Here we go.
Genie. I'm here with my one co-host, Chris Lahiff. Pat Houseman has the night off, if you want to call it that. But this is another edition of the Philly podcast presented by CEVsports.com, streaming all over our social media feeds using StreamYard.com. All right, and tonight we'll be talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and the recap of their game with the New Orleans Saints and the decimation of the number one run defense in the NFL. And we will have a very special guest with us in just a few minutes. But first, Chris and I are going to do a little talking, what we try and do best. So, Chris, how are you?
Yeah, listen, it's week 11, and here we are. You know, very realistically, they're in the hunt. Like, there's nothing you can say to, change my mind otherwise. Everyone knows I was very skeptical in the beginning of the season. I had my issues, as did everyone. But I had no faith in Hurts, and rightfully so, guy. But I didn't give him a chance. I'm proving that I got no problem admitting right now I'm wrong. I'm going to do nothing but root for the guy. I'm not going to be that guy who's like, hey, yeah, I'm going to root against him. No, absolutely not. He does well. The team does well. The city rallies around him. And, I think it's time to start giving some love to Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I said it. Like, I said give some love to Jalen Hurts. You don't want to give it, that's fine. I'll give extra love. The guy's making football fun again. Sirianni has made some adjustments. Ran the ball 50 times, which, as much as we want him to run, I can't knock it. We just got to hope that, we can get, use Jalen Hurts' arm efficiently. He's starting to hit Goddard. I think him and Goddard are starting to build a rapport, which is phenomenal. Which, I was, me. I was getting aggravated. Hey, I got Dallas Goddard for fantasy, and he was missing his throws. But just in general, like, use the guy. He's don't just use the screen to Jalen Watkins. Is it Jalen Watkins? No, Quez Watkins. Jalen Watkins was the safety. Just don't use that. Like, use something else. Like, use what you have in your weapons. Like, he didn't miss Miles Sanders. I know a lot of people were ripping him. He didn't miss Miles Sanders on that play down the field. The safety just made a great play.
Right.
So
yeah. He did.
And what's funny is, they're making plays on defense. I had written an article this past week for CEV and Sports City Chefs, and I was comparing, this team, and I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl, but they had the makings of the 2017, how they're playing, not how they're not all together, just like the defense is making plays. Darius Slay has 3 touchdowns. He's got more than like 4 receivers in the NFL, which again is just crazy. He's making, other plays with his feet. That touchdown, the first or second touchdown when he put his hand over the pylon and then got pushed out of bounds. I think people realize how smart of a play that was. I mean, you can go, but I don't think
thank you.
I don't think people realize how smart that play was.
No, that was. I mean, you just like touched on the entire show and the opening monologue of yours. Pretty much all I have is that I was doubting Jalen Hurts a lot. I was really doubting him a lot because I wasn't trusting his arm. But like you said, Sirianni has figured out a way to incorporate his strengths, which, let's face it, the strength of this team is the offensive line. This team is set up to run, and he was able to figure it out. He was able to make his adjustments as a coach. He was able to get the emergence of Jordan Howard coming back and playing. That was huge. I don't know why they ever got rid of the guy in the first place, but anyway.
And he's hurt.
Yeah, well, he's hurt now, yes, but I mean, like over the last few weeks before this game, they relied on him very heavily because of Miles Sanders, who, don't get me wrong, Miles Sanders had a very hard day, even though he had over 90 yards. He's lucky that Jordan Howard got hurt, because after the first half that he had, he probably would not have seen the time of day in the second half. But no, I mean, they found a way to incorporate the strengths of the team, incorporate the strengths of the quarterback, and you can't deny that the kid's electric. His legs definitely have it, and it's refreshing to see. Like you said, he's making it fun again, and that move for his third touchdown, where that third touchdown run to basically seal the game, it was amazing. And I mean, that you can't get any better than that unless you were basically sitting in the front row, So, so with that, I'll let you, go ahead.
Which basically segues into our guest.
Yes.
Bringing in Dwayne Ellison. If for many people don't know, he is the guy who threw his jersey and a marker at Jalen Hurts after the third touchdown. And he's from Toronto. And we're going to get into that when I bring him on. But so with further ado.
Yes, with further ado, everyone, please welcome Dwayne Allison to the show. And Dwayne, he is there?
I know he's there.
Yeah, I see him. He's not coming up on the screen. So let's see.
He might be frozen a little.
I think so.
Yeah, he's definitely frozen.
Well, he'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. So
while we're waiting for him hopefully his computer unfreezes or whatever in the next couple seconds. He actually sent us a video that he took from his seats as the play develops. You see the cut that Jalen Hurts makes, and you just see the whole play develop and him run right directly to him in the end, basically right at him in the end zone. So I'm going to play that really quickly, and I had to edit this down a little bit. There was a little cussing at the end of it, so but I got it ready to go. So everybody, here you go. This was the video that Dwayne Allison sent us, which is what got him onto the show today. I mean, like, how awesome is that?
Yeah, that's it's and for him to throw it back, like,
that was awesome.
It was just awesome, and I hate that he's having technical difficulties.
I know.
I'm gonna remove him, and then when he's ready, actually, I'll just leave it up just in case he can get in.
Well, Dwayne, if you can hear us, which I'm pretty sure you can, try logging out and logging back into the link that Chris sent you. Maybe that'll unfreeze you. But we'll just keep going until you pop up. But we're definitely going to have him on.
So, what were your takes like from the game? Like, what did you thoroughly enjoy about the game?
Well, what I enjoyed about the game the most was you could see that I saw a bit more of a maturation of Jalen Hurts. Like he looked like that game. He was poised in that game. Like there was not. I mean, I know there wasn't a lot for him to be worried about, but it was honestly a good game. He played well, and I mean, look, let's face it. Sooner or later, someone is going to catch up to what Sirianni's doing with his domination of running the football right now. And again, I'm not going to downplay finally running the football. But if we want to start seeing more development and Hurts trending in the right direction, we have to see a little bit more from his passing game, which is basically his accuracy. And I think that Sirianni figured out how to use Jalen Hurts' strengths, and now he just has to even it out a little bit more with the passing game and the running game. Again, I'm not going to complain. I mean, they're doing really good at the moment. You know what I mean? But I saw a lot of leadership out of Jalen Hurts, which we've seen all along. Like he's been saying the right things. He carries himself well, and I mean, he is a damn good athlete. And we're starting to see. Excuse me. We're starting to see this, like I said, maturation process of Jalen Hurts. Start. He's trending upwards, and it's refreshing to see. I mean, and the fact that he's the first quarterback in Eagles history to have 3 rushing touchdowns in a game, that's amazing. How can you not get excited?
Yeah, and what's up to the Eagles Uncensored podcast for giving us a shout out on YouTube. Looks like he's coming back. But, for me, my moment, as good as Jalen Hurts was, Darius Slay standing at the end zone instead of doing the Lambeau leap and doing the Eagles stand. That was awesome. Like that picture is just an iconic picture.
All right. And with that, looks like we have our special guest back. It looks like his technical difficulties are gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dwayne Allison. Dwayne, there you are, buddy.
Can you hear us? Lagging.
How you doing, guys?
Hey,
there you are. Good. Well, glad to have you on the show. Glad to finally have you on the show. All right. So tell us, where are you originally from? Because we know you're not. We know we talked all fair, but let's let everybody listen and watching.
From Toronto, Ontario. Since like 2000, ever since Don was done.
Okay.
I love going to Eagles games every year. I try to go every year. I try to get the
Perfect. That's awesome.
You guys got any questions or
I
never really heard
yeah.
For
Well, I want to know, like, with that video and being right there when Hurts was running to you, what was going through your mind as you saw, like he's coming right at me? Like, what was that thought process?
You know what? This has been like ever since I bought those tickets and I knew where I was sitting, like I thought about like happening during the game. Like I basically like said to my brother-in-law before the game when we were walking in there, and I'm like, I'm buying a Hurts jersey today. I'll watch him play. I guarantee he's gonna get a touchdown right in the corner of our end zone. And I'm going to throw my jersey. And I showed him 2 shots to throw the jersey, ran the ball in the end zone. So it was
that's awesome.
I seen him break the first defender's thing. My God. So I reached out in the bag and I got the jersey out. And when I looked up, he was on the 5-yard line, strutting around the corner of the end zone. And I just whipped it. And then he picked it up, flashed it, and then threw it back to me. But he didn't see the Sharpie that I threw after on the ground until after he threw it.
That's funny though. That's awesome though. That's really awesome. I mean, that kind of takes me back to the snowball game. I worked for the Eagles for a little bit, and I was down in the end zone when McCoy come running down through that hole, like through everybody, and he went running straight at me. I was like standing first row, and I mean I know how I felt like when that was going on. I felt like he was like running right at me and pointing at me like it was great. But that's awesome. That's awesome though. I mean, the fact that because that play is going to be so iconic with Jalen Hurts' career. It's going to be like the one play we always see from Donovan McNabb when he does the shoulder juke on the guy from the Washington Redskins or now the Washington football team. That's going to be in Jalen Hurts' highlight reel for the rest of his life, and you're going to be part of that. And I mean, that's pretty friggin' awesome.
Yeah, that was, I was I was at the movies, so I was going to see Ghostbusters Afterlife. So like during the previews, I was like watching it on my phone. I obviously wasn't screaming. I was like, "Oh, we're up 40!" Like it's like 40-22. I'm like, "Let's go!" Because they started to give him a little life. There was they were making. That's pretty funny. Yeah, he is. He is. He is trying to find his soul. But just like again, we're making we're making football fun again. And to go back to Eagles Uncensored podcast, you know what? I don't need him to be a 300-yard passer. I know that's what the new NFL is, but we're kind of going back because there's 17 weeks now, so more teams will most likely run the ball. Look at Carson Wentz and the Colts. Jonathan Taylor had 5 touchdowns. Like he didn't have to throw it all.
Which is great for the Eagles.
Well, they're winning too, so that doesn't really help us. But like that, and Dallas is running the ball. The Giants. I don't know. The Giants are just a mess. Tampa Bay runs the ball. Like there's teams running the ball, and we're starting to be consistent. Again, I don't need him to throw for 300 yards. If he can get me a 3rd and 2 with a 2
on the drive home from there last on.
We're having. That's a shame. He's having some major technical problems.
Dwayne, if you can hear me, log out and sign back in because you're cutting in and out of the conversation, and we'll bring you back on. Just I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's on our end. I mean, it is Toronto.
Our feed's having trouble going across the border.
Yeah. He had no problem coming in.
Yeah, right.
But I love the fact that he's an Eagles fan, and he started liking the Eagles in 2000, being from Toronto, and because he liked it, because he was playing Madden, and he's like everyone took Vic, everyone took McNair, and he took McNabb, and listen, I can respect it. Listen, there's people who like the Dallas Cowboys from Philadelphia. Because it's what their team they play with on Pee Wee. I don't buy it, but it is what it is. Like I'm not. Listen,
no, because their uncle was a fan. That's why their uncle was a fan. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Because he flew over Dallas one time, and so that was it.
Yeah. Eagles Uncensored put up. How Indy and Philly took off on the same week, and never really looked back. Maybe Sirianni and him and Reich do talk a lot. Why would they not? I mean,
why wouldn't they?
They've coached together for the last 3 seasons. Can you again? Hypothetical. Eagles make the playoffs on the last day of the season. Colts make the playoffs on the last day of the season, and they play each other in the Super Bowl. Oh my God!
Wouldn't that be amazing?
And Carson Wentz gets hurt.
Hey, As long as he plays the 70 or 75% of the snap, I don't care. As long as he gets it, which that's why I said it helps. It's helping the Eagles that they're running the ball so much. He's just handing off and walking backwards. All right, well, let's see. Dwayne came back on, so let's see if let's hope that the connection's a lot better this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know how Canada was. They didn't want Americans coming over the border, so maybe that goes to the airwaves too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I don't know. Oh, it's because-
he's breaking up on my end.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing him too. Like he's there, like he's coming in and out. It's kind of like the old Max Headroom commercials for Diet Pepsi. Remember?
So, well, we'll just leave him up there. Hopefully,
Yeah.
he can get his internet going because, like I said,
What was
I
the
want to
question?
talk to him. Well, no, you were just going in and out. Like you're I don't know if it's your service. Canada doesn't want you talking to people from Philly, which who can blame them?
I can't.
But you're coming out on our side, like you're breaking up. I'm about to say cracking up. You're breaking up. So we're just gonna leave you on. If your internet or whatever comes around, just join the conversation. You ain't hurting my feelings.
What was?
So we're gonna have to get him.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he
We're going to bring him on another time if we can't get this through, which is fine. Listen, I love talking to. Listen, we got friends over in Britain who are, Eagles fans, and they have a show coming up on mental health. I can't wait to check that out. So listen, anybody that I could talk to from different parts of the world who are Eagles fans, bring them on. Like I'm okay with it.
Right. Well, if we continue to have problems with Dwayne's connection, we can always just get him on Anchor, do a pre-recorded
Oh yeah,
interview,
you can do that.
and pull it and just add it to a show later.
I keep forgetting we have Anchor.
Yeah. I have to for a while, but from like what you were saying, like with how they're playing right now, and how they're seemingly gelling at the right time, and like you said, he's getting Goddard more involved, and like you can't say anything bad about Devontae Smith. He's been flat out great since day one.
I mean, it took him a couple of weeks, but whatever. I mean,
well, even those couple of weeks, he wasn't like, I can't say like not producing. He was still like he was doing what you wanted from a wide receiver, though. He was running good routes. He was just covered. He was just being blanketed. But no, the irony of all of this now is because I said that they weren't going to win any more than 4 games. Well, here we are. They're at 5, and there's a good possibility that they could be at 8. I mean, this, and look at the stretch of games they have coming out to end the season out. I mean,
yeah. Listen, you're absolutely right. Like you had them at 4. No, you had them at 5. I said 5. Wouldn't be surprised 7. I couldn't see them winning 3, like USA had. I think USA had them at 3 or 4. I couldn't see them just based on the division alone.
right.
I mean, Washington stinks. I don't care what anyone says. We all know what the Giants are. Is Dallas going to turn into Dallas of the past? Are they going to lose to Vegas this week? In 4 weeks, the Eagles should honestly they should be 8-6.
Yeah, I mean, with the way it's playing out,
They're playing better than the Giants. They're playing better than the Washington football team, and they're playing better than the Jets. There's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh yeah, no, exactly. So it's completely nuts how the season's played out, and like after like what we saw like the first 7 weeks, I had them for dead. I really did. I had them for dead, and they have completely done a 180 on this season. And I mean, I don't want to sit there and say, go ahead.
It's been on both sides of the ball.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they've been amazing. Like especially Slay. Look what he's done the last like 3 weeks. He's been absolutely nonstop. So it literally has become fun to watch, and even on special teams they've been doing good. I mean, they've been like on all 3 phases of this team. They've started to come around, which at this point now I'm not really caring like where the pick is that they get, like their own pick. I'm not worrying about the picks. they're going to have 3 first-round picks. They're going to be able to do stuff with it. And at
Right.
this point, like I said, now, if they make the playoffs, Jalen Hurts automatically wins the starting job for next year. He deserves to get the shot at it. That's just all there is to it. If they make the playoffs.
I said right now that they make the playoffs. I mean that he gets the spot based on this so far, unless they go on a losing streak starting this week and don't recover. And depending how bad the losing streak is.
I mean, I still think that this is more of an observation season, and if they make the playoffs, then it goes. It's totally all right.
Don't worry about it, Braden. We'll schedule it another time.
Yeah, we'll get you on. Don't worry about it. But please keep commenting if you want.
Yeah, they can't lose. They can't lose 6 in a row.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. But I mean, this is still an observation year, an evaluation year for Hurts. So I think they have to take it to the very end and see what happens. Now, like I said, he gets the keys to the car as far as I'm concerned. If they make the playoffs, that's just it. Then okay, fine, that's it. He's the guy. So and that's the case where he gets to be the guy, the QB1. But right now, I'm still like, hey, look, if someone figures him out or figures the game plan out and starts stacking the box and the running game becomes stagnant, this is where we're going to see where Hurts is going to be. Has he developed, with his passing game since we're not really seeing too much of it because of the amazing game planning that they're doing right now and the execution. I mean, they just took out the number 1 run defense in the league. They destroyed them.
And that's the thing. And I want to get to Eagles Uncensored. Listen, hold on, where are we? Wherever you guys, if you guys are on Twitter, reach out, Eagles Uncensored, to CEV Sports. We have we have a network and we have a pot and we have our regular Philly. We'll come on. We'll trade stories. We'll share streams. You come on ours, we'll come on yours. Whatever.
Absolutely.
I'm all for talking football, but I just wanted to get that out there so he didn't think I forgot him. So and that's the thing is they took the number 1 defense rushing, and we knew there isn't anybody who's going to sit there and say that they knew the Eagles were going to run for 50 times.
Right.
We knew they were going to run the ball. We knew they would have run the ball 60 times. You knew they were going to run the ball. That's how they beat them last year. So I think they took game film from last year and used it. And then they used this. And then it helped that, Hurts had the extra time. He had a preseason. Again, I've been completely wrong through 11 weeks, and I'm okay with it.
Oh, yeah, me too. Me too.
And I have no problem admitting my faults.
And I think that's what Dwayne's getting at here with his comment, where he feels like that TD was what turned the tide for Jalen Hurts in Philly, and the city's embracing him. I mean, there was a lot of people that already were, and there were skeptics like you and me who were now like, okay, hey, this kid's, he's doing it. I'm not going to say the real deal, but he's doing good and he's turning heads.
Here's the thing. It's again, we didn't vote. We weren't rooting against him.
No, I wasn't rooting against him. I was
we never once rooted against him.
No, you can't.
Like he plays quarterback for my favorite team.
Well, and he deserved. I mean, look, they by default he became the number 1. He became the starting QB. So you had to give him a chance. That's why this entire season is all about the evaluation of him and see where he goes. And so, but yeah, you're right though. You have to give him a shot. You can be critical, but you have to give him a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we're the city of Philadelphia. We're a ridiculous fan base at times, and we'll rip you but we'll love you. We'll love you too.
Oh yeah, and look at this. This is the other thing. We're coming in.
Right, well, hold on real quick. So Dwayne, why I agree with you? He's putting up better numbers. The argument's always going to be it was a different era,
right?
Which is fine. Because you got to remember something. McNabb won. Granted, it was Andy Reid's second year. I understand that. But it's a different era right now. The running, I'll give you the running. There's this McNabb was just big and fast. He eluded you, but he wasn't like Jalen Hurts where he hit the edge. Like if McNabb hit the edge, he wasn't outrun you. If Hurts hits the edge and there's no one on like right there to push him out of bounds, he's gone.
He's gone
40 yards. He did that zone read. It was the best I've seen him. Even like watching him in college because I'm an Alabama guy. That's the best I've ever seen him run his zone read. He read everything perfectly, which very rarely happens with any quarterback.
right.
But he was on his game, and that's what we need. So they play the Giants next week. They play the Jets the following week. Then they're on a bye. Then they play the Washington football team. Then they play the Giants. Then they play the Washington football team. And then they play the Cowboys. You can't convince me that they can't go 10-7. There's going to be a loss in there somewhere.
Yeah, there will be.
They're not going to go on an 8-game winning streak. Let's be realistic. I hope I'm coming back on here, the week before during Dallas week and going, I'm wrong. They're on a 7-game winning streak. They're going to the goddamn Super Bowl. That'll be me. I'm going to be that fan. I'm going to go nuts. Be like, oh my God, they're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to another parade. That's going to be me. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to bite it. I'm going to swallow the pill like how they do in the Matrix. It's the red pill or the blue pill. It's going to be the red pill or the green pill. I'm taking the green pill. I'm all in. If they go on a 7-game winning streak, I'm all in. They're going to the Super Bowl. I'm calling out of work. I'm going to the parade. And yes, I know I sound ridiculous. Just for anybody listening, I know I sound ridiculous. That was the point. But if they go on a 7-game winning streak, you got to think the division's up for grabs at that point.
Oh yeah,
It has to be.
Absolutely.
Because Dallas isn't going to win out, right? I don't think so. I could be 100% wrong.
Well, look, I'm not, dude. If they make the playoffs, if I was going to say if they make the playoffs, I'll shave my head. I'm just saying that right now, and I think I'm going to look pretty.
You're shaving your head. You're shaving your beard.
No, I want to do. I'll do the head this way. I can get my egg shape going. This way you can get some color up there.
I could shave my head, but I have to look decent for work.
I'll just wear hats.
But right, well, I can. But I'm like, and Eagles Uncensored is right. He's like, if they get into, if they get into the playoffs, and again, I can't believe we're actually talking about this.
Yeah, they're actually saying this.
Where we were, what 1-4 or whatever it was, like. Now we're talking about this team could possibly make the playoffs. They have a good chance. They hold a lot of tiebreakers. They beat Carolina. They beat Atlanta. Not stinks, but they hold tiebreakers. Things would have to happen. But listen, any given Sunday, we're watching teams that we thought were going to be, just juggernauts, like Josh Allen and the Bills. They look terrible lately.
They can't win back-to-back games. They just can't.
And Tennessee lost to Houston.
Yeah.
To Houston. Bad. They didn't just lose. They looked terrible. Looked like me running the football. Looked like Adrian Peterson had my kneecaps running the football.
But he got released today too. Now, did you see? Now the next game is against the Giants. That game that the Giants played last night.
It was comical. It was like watching. It should have been on Comedy Central.
Yeah, well, I want to know right now, like, after watching that, and everyone knows by now, Jason Garrett got fired as the offensive coordinator today from the New York Giants. I just find it comical that the Giants didn't even let him get 2 full years in as offensive coordinator before they let him go, and it took Dallas how many years before they finally fired him as head coach? I mean,
you know what? I get that, but.
I mean, they are bad up front. They got no offensive line.
He had moderate success in Dallas. Like he had a lot of, granted there were a lot of one and dones. He had a lot of moderate success. You can't make that.
That's true. That's true. Uncensored. Like that they believe. That this team is totally believe in, and they're feeling it. Like you could tell that they're feeling it on all sides.
That's where I go back to. That's when my article, I compared them to the
Yes, you did.
2017 Eagles. There's that belief in each other.
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
the defense thought they were dead with the loss of Brandon Graham. You know, they're starting to turn around. Now, Devion Taylor had surgery today for an MCL. Not good.
No.
So someone else is going to have to. Like TJ Edwards has been phenomenal. He read that interception off of Trevor Siemian. You know, Trevor, as great as that was an athletic play more than it was a great read.
Right.
Because
yeah, exactly.
Trevor Siemian looked him straight down the dub. But TJ Edwards made a ridiculous athletic play. I think I hurt my back watching.
Yeah, and that play got him rewarded with a contract today.
I'm okay with it. You know.
Yeah.
Jordan Mailata, he got in a contract extension, and my man went to war. Did you see some of the blocks? Jason Kelsey, like, does he know he's old for football for center? Does he? Because they were just laying everyone out.
They were. That was
Mailata pushed Cam Jordan away with or whatever Cameron Jordan or Jordan Cameron. One's a tight end, one's he pushed him away with one arm. Like, get off me. I know he was running, but he still pushed him. They're both moving. But then he fought that other guy, like that, who hit Jalen Hurts out of bounds. And I'm sorry, I don't care how big the other guy was. I don't care that they both played rugby. I'm not fighting Jordan Mailata. I don't care how big I am.
No. I mean, but yeah, that was the best I've seen. The offensive, like I said, the offensive line has been the strongest point of this team for a while, and that game the other day, just showed how dominant that front line can be. I mean, like you're saying, they were just manhandling the guys from on the defensive side of the ball for New Orleans, and that's what gives me hope. That's what gives me a lot of fun. Like
football games are won. Where are football games won?
In the trenches, and I mean they're showing it right now.
You're winning the battle on the offensive side, and you're winning the battle on the defensive side. Listen, football isn't rocket science. It isn't.
No.
If Hargrave disappeared, he came back, but other people stepped in while he was disappeared. So, I'm excited. You know, yeah. I'm saying 8-game winning streak, Super Bowl.
Well, I'll let you do that. I'll let you be the bananas.
I'm a monkey, like my shirt from Monkey's Uncle. Little plug. But like,
yes.
There's nothing. There's nothing that you can say. I'm gonna let you read that out in a minute. So when you
people can read it. That's okay.
Yeah, but you got to put it out on the podcast.
Oh yes, that's
so like there's zero reason to not get excited. Get excited. Have fun. You know, join. Like, I'm thinking about going to Washington, but it's going to be cold, and so I've decided not to.
Yes, I'm going to stay home for that one.
So, but you know, I'm happy that I'm happy again. Like 2020 was terrible. 2019 was good until the Seattle game. So it's fun. It's a good reason to get excited about. Like, listen, even if they don't make the playoffs, as disappointed I'll be. And again, I don't care what anyone says. I don't play for draft picks. Granted, I didn't want them to win last year when they played Washington. I was like, just pull everybody. Put in Bill DeRose and Eric Perugini at linebacker.
Sounds good.
Like I just, you know, I want that. I want that excitement back. You know, I want to sit there and, you know, get mad at the TV. You know, it was just like, I was going in and out, like doing stuff, watching the Eagles the last couple of weeks. Like, I didn't even really watch the Detroit game, to be honest with you. Like, I had it on, but it was like, I didn't think they were going to beat Detroit. And Detroit is terrible. Detroit is terrible. You know, you know what? Speaking of Detroit, the NFL hands out taunting penalties, right?
Yes, they do.
Shouldn't we be handing out penalties to them? Because they're just taunting us, making us watch Thanksgiving football with the Lions.
It's tradition. It's tradition. That's what it is. But before we continue, I'm going to do my read here, our live read. So this is a commercial for one of our sponsors, The Monkey's Uncle. head over to the monkeysuncle.net. Monkey's Uncle is a retro, vintage-inspired T-shirt boutique that is so much more than just a store. It's an experience all to itself. Again, head over to the monkeysuncle.net. They have great deals. They have great products. You won't be disappointed. And I believe it's if they go under cevsports.com and click the link for Monkey's Uncle, they get special discounts on some free shipping. So head over to monkeysuncle.net off of cevsports.com for some good discounts, and you won't be disappointed. So now with that, I'm completely excited for this game Monday night because the New York Giants look like trash. I'm excited because I want to, or Sunday. I said Monday. Whatever.
The only reason I asked is because my boss offered me sweet tickets and I couldn't go because my son's got a football game. But I'm like, if you're telling me it was Monday night, I would have been like, give me those tickets. I'll get the.
Well, you should have said, fine, no problem. I'll take the tickets and then send them on over to your boy EP. So it's all good. Anyway, what's this? Hey guys, got to get to my live. Oh, thank you. Hey man, dude, thank you so much for joining us tonight and being interactive with us with the Eagles Uncensored podcast. And
we'll reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll reach out and can't wait to do some collaboration with you guys.
So we'll go into the Giants game, and we're just talking Eagles tonight.
Yeah,
we'll go into the Giants Eagles game. Should have had Barry on from Chef City Sports. He's a Giants fan. I'm kind of wondering what his thoughts are on the Giants. I know they fired Jason Garrett,
right?
But Kitchens isn't anything better.
No, he's not. He's not much of an upgrade.
No, and listen, that team's in disarray anyway.
Yeah,
I'm not scared of the Giants.
No, not at all. And to tell you the truth, Barkley, I don't think is ever going to be the same. I really don't.
He's Carson Wentz as a running back.
Yeah. I mean that kid, all the talent in the world, but you want to talk about someone that just can't stay healthy.
Do you know what it is? Hey, you're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. He's too big in his legs.
He's got monstrous thighs.
And it's because if you look at Derrick Henry is just big everywhere.
Right.
You try to tackle him up high, he's gonna stiff arm you into retirement like he did Josh Norman. You try to tackle him low, you're probably gonna bounce off his kneecap and you're gonna be in concussion protocol.
Yeah, very true. Absolutely true.
So I'm saying Eagles are going to win easily. I'm going to go 24-7.
24-7.
24-7. I think Goddard's going to have a big game. I think Jalen Reagor stinks. And we're going to see the battle of Kadarius Toney, I think that's his name, versus Devontae Smith, the receiver that nobody wanted, that the Giants fans didn't want. They didn't want him. Nah, we're good. We didn't want him. Okay.
Biggest lie I ever heard anyone say that they didn't want Devontae Smith. Didn't want him whatsoever. Get the lies.
Yeah,
lies.
And I didn't want Eric Lindros in the 90s. Get the hell out of here.
That's too funny.
I'm going 24-7. I'm sorry. I'll go a little bit bigger. I'm going to go 31-7, and the defense is going to have another touchdown. I'm not saying it's going to be Slay because I'm new. But the defense is making plays. They're forcing teams, and that offensive line for the Giants stinks.
They do.
Tell me otherwise. Somebody tell me where they're good at, and I'll fight you and say they're not. Fletcher Cox is coming around. He's stepped up his last 3 weeks. We always hear that Fletcher Cox is, his numbers are down, but he's usually double team or triple teamed, and people always say, well, he should be like Aaron Donald. Well, Aaron Donald is a freak of nature. let's get to that. So
Yeah.
he's a freak, but he's but the guys that are triple teaming, double teaming Fletcher Cox, I know guys they're not as big as the guys chipping or blocking Aaron Donald.
Right.
When Aaron Donald is running through 2 offensive linemen, you might want to drug test him. They're not big offensive linemen. If people know what I mean by big offensive linemen, I mean overly like Tyron Smith. If Aaron Donald ran over 2 Tyron Smiths, I'm drug testing the next day. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, because Tyron Smith is a beast. He needs an arm brace, but he uses a leg brace on his arm. That tells you how big that man is.
Yes, it does.
But I'm going 31-7. It's kicking. Listen, it's the Meadowlands. Kicking always sucks up there. So I'm hoping they go for a lot of 4th and 1s.
See, I'm nervous. I'm actually nervous about this game a little bit. This could be. I mean, this could be one. This really could be because they're riding on a high right now, and I mean, even though the Giants completely stink, they're horrible all over. It's one of those games where you pump your chest up a little too much, and next thing you know, you're down 14 coming out of halftime. I don't know. I don't have a prediction for this game because I'm actually nervous. I mean, I do feel that the Eagles are eventually going to win, but I'm just a little nervous that this is a trap.
Well, listen, it's a division game. It's easy to be nervous. I mean, and you don't think the Giants are not going to want to make up for the trash that they just put out there as for a scheme and play and everything this past week? Not when Daniel Jones is running behind the ref yelling, blow the whistle, blow the whistle, blow the whistle.
I'm sorry. That's the thing that gets me because it's at home for the Giants. It's a division game. Even when every team is horrible, those are the games that are always still tough to play. I am a little nervous about it. I ultimately think the Eagles do win, but I'm going to go with like 27-14.
Larry, nothing wrong with that. It's a 2 touchdown game.
Yeah.
I just look at the win playing a factor.
That's true.
You listen. For me, as long as they don't change up their game plan of running the football and what has kept them successful, there's no reason they shouldn't win. Like they literally, they played nothing but trash teams. It's amazing that there's 7 games left, and what 2 against the Giants, 2 against Washington. That's 4.
One against the Jets.
That's 5, and then 1 against Dallas.
1 against Dallas. Yeah, because we got our bye week. We have our bye week in week 14.
But they play 17 games. I got to figure out who their last opponent is. So hold on. They play the Giants, the Jets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they only have 6 games left.
Yeah, the bye week is 14.
Right. And think about that. Think about week 14. They're going to have 2 games that they have left in the season on rest. 3 games.
3. And
Four.
don't forget, they don't get on a plane the rest of the season.
There you
either.
go. That was going to be my next thing. So I'm sorry, they have 4 games left after the week 14 bye. And just like you said, they don't have to get on an airplane.
Nope.
That's huge.
That is big. That's very big. I mean, and considering that the best quarterback that they're going to be playing is going to be Dak on the last game of the season. That one, like I'm cool with it. I can't wait to see what happens. I want it to be the revenge. But what was that? What was that?
No. So here's the thing. Bill just got on. Bill, you missed it. I'm on the Jalen Hurts train. Choo choo. So, I did nothing but praise Jalen Hurts. Oh God, I don't know what he's going to the airport for. But I'm on the Jalen Hurts train. I gave him credit. I gave Sirianni credit. I'm calling an 8-game winning streak, and they're going to the Super Bowl. Woohoo!
Oh man,
I think
That's
he just signed
crazy.
off.
he probably did. He probably had enough of you already going woohoo, so he's done. He's like, no, I can't take it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Thank God that is not live on the radio. So, but no. And the other
There you
thing
go.
I like, the other thing I
You're
like.
right. You're right. I'll be like, yeah, what the hell with Jalen Hurts and his bad game.
Oh well, look. The only way Jalen Hurts is honestly going to have a quote unquote bad game
He
is
has
if they
to
go if they go back to him passing like all the time. Like say the Giants for something to just say, hey, you know what? We're going to make him beat us through the air, and we're just going to stack the box. We're going to defend against the run. This is our game plan. Defend the run, defend the run, defend the run. Let's make him beat us in the air. If he has to throw the ball over 30 times, chances are the Giants might win that game. I mean, because his accuracy, that's the one thing he has to. That's one of the things that he has to work on. His accuracy. He's shown a little bit. He started to show a little bit more with like the downfield stuff. Like he has a good arm.
You know what's funny? You bring up his accuracy. I want to say it was Goddard. When he threw that pass, it was coming down the right, and Goddard came up and cut to the left. And as he cut, the ball got there.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, he's working on it. So
yeah, he was working on it. And I'm also not going to trash him with the couple of incomplete passes because Goddard also totally dropped one that was right in his hands. That was a play that he should have made, and he didn't do it. So that does not help. And that, unfortunately, looks bad against the quarterback numbers-wise with the stats. So it's – I mean, like I said, I'll give him credit where it's due. But I'm not going to trash him for that play either because that wasn't his fault. He
you know what's funny is that probably goes down as a non-drop because the one year they said Nelson Aguilar had 4 drops, and Jim Byron I used to work with at Jetro, we were looking at it and I'm telling him, I'm like, it says he has 4 drops, and I'm like, bullshit. I've seen him drop more than 4 passes.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's It's funny. It's funny though, but
listen,
yeah.
Hurts will be a treasure if he wins and gets us in the playoffs.
Well,
I'm on the train right now, choo. But for me, it comes down to the defense making plays. The defense making plays sets up the offense, and that's why I said they believe in themselves as they did in 2017. I'm not saying that they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying This team reminds me of the character they had. Like when, like how hype were you, Billy and Jim, when Slay took that ball back at the end of the half and stood on top of and instead of doing the Lambeau leak, he did the link stand and just stood there and stared amongst everybody else. Like that's an iconic picture that's going to resonate for years with this fan base as it should.
Oh, yeah.
For one thing, when Dawkins took the pylon in week 17 or 16 against the Cowboys in 2008, and he picked it up and he just threw it to the ground. It's an iconic picture. It's actions like that get you believing into this team. It makes you buy in. We bought in. Hurts has to work on a lot of things. He's got to work on his arm strength and not underthrowing that ball. But he's not forcing bad passes right now.
Right.
He's not fumbling the football. He's handing the ball. He's making great zone reads, which that's not talked about enough. It's not.
No, but you're right though. He his zone reads are better, and so it's I'm excited. I'm happy. This is something during this season I was not expecting was going to happen.
Nope.
So, I mean, you always want to – I always take that. That's one of the best things ever for me. It's like because I had them dead in the water at 4 wins. That was it. And I'm totally excited.
We looked at this coach when he talked about flowers. Like, this dude compared my team to a bunch of flowers. Guess who's going to the Super Bowl parade in February with a bouquet of flowers? This guy!
Well, you know what makes me laugh, and please stop talking about the Super Bowl. It literally is making me laugh that you brought up the flowers, because ever since that goddamn speech, this team has done a 180. So it's like whatever he said to them, and as crazy as it sounds to like the fans, like you, me, and everyone else, and even reporters that work for the Inquirer who are now on the radio said, you know, like, what was this guy thinking? How are you going to tell this to a bunch of grown men, grown athletes making millions of dollars, and expect them to buy into it? And guess what? It looks like that they've bought into it. Like, this team is having so much fun.
Yeah, you can't knock them. We're all having fun. We're having fun texting. You know, just watching the team has been fun.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So I guess with that, we'll end it on a high note. Even though the Flyers are losing 4-0 to Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching a replay of wrestling from the other night. I'm not watching the Flyers.
So, you know, join us tomorrow right here at 7:00 for me, Eric, and Ty's 5-on-5 GOAT Survivor Series teams. So it should be interesting. I broke mine down to specific persons and years that I would pick them. So it should be a good show.
I did my teams on my favorite feuds of all time.
Okay.
I did. That's how I went with mine, on my favorite feuds of all time. So this should be fun for me. I've been waiting to do a wrestling show with Ty from the time he got on the network, and I'm so glad that we're finally getting able to do one with him. I can't wait for this show tomorrow. And it is basically what it's just we're picking, like, we're doing our two teams, right? You know,
it's two teams.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because if I had to do any more, I got to go start putting some more stuff on my phone.
No, I got my 10. I got my 10 teams. I got
10 teams.
I had 10 people.
Oh, it's 10. Oh, it was a 5-on-5.
Yeah.
I thought it was a 4. I thought it was a 4-on-4. No problem. I can fix that.
Yeah, and then I have special things that I added because I'm bananas.
There you go. Well, then that's
right.
good. Then I got
All
one.
right, guys. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to end it with the Philly. I'm going to end it with the touchdown run.
Yes, please do. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for joining.
This is the touchdown run from, Dwayne, who was on earlier. And he was at the game. He was the one whose jersey he threw at Jalen Hurts, and here it is.
Yeah.